Welcome back. I'm Kenny Ballantyne and you are watching part 2 of NKI's brand new 5-part training program, Let's Bring Childhood Back Outside. In our last video, we discussed the Nature Connection Pyramid and how anyone can get started right now in building an outdoor childhood from the bottom up. The next thing we are going to discuss is why. Why should we care? Does it really matter if kids grow up indoors? My answer, of course, is an emphatic yes. There are very real consequences to an indoor childhood, and there are some very powerful benefits to an outdoor childhood. We will get into the benefits in video number 3. In this video, we are discussing consequences. I believe that an indoor childhood is so hazardous that it should come with a Surgeon General warning. And that is essentially what we tried to do with our next infographic. You could put this one up right next to any anti-smoking or anti-drug signage because it is just as critical to a child's health and well-being. Today we will be discussing physical consequences, mental consequences, and environmental consequences. Let's start with the physical. It should come as no surprise to you that the lack of outside time is a major contributor to childhood obesity. When a child is indoors, their play is for the most part stationary and therefore does not burn calories or build muscle. There is also a connection to osteoporosis. Sunshine is essential for health. Without it, your body lacks what it needs to grow strong and healthy bones. And some of the newest research has now connected an indoor childhood with myopia. When you are indoors and constantly looking at screens, your eyes never have the opportunity to focus on long distances, and they eventually lose their ability to do so. There are also mental and developmental consequences. Many studies have now connected too much time indoors with attention deficit disorder and depression. The controlled indoor environment can also contribute to a decrease in what is called executive function, as is described in this clip from my new documentary film, Nature Kids.
There was a study done recently that replicated a study that was done in the 1940s of what's called executive function. Executive function is that voice inside you that says maybe it's not a good idea to follow your buddies off the cliff. It's essential for people to, to be independent, to be entrepreneurs, to really be grown-ups, to develop that. Much of that is developed early in childhood in independent make-believe play. And to the extent we're replacing that with supervised play under adult control and electronic play, we're taking away the ability of our kids to learn how to control themselves. That study shows that a 7-year-old today has the independent executive function of a 5-year-old in the 1940s. In other words, we've sliced away 2 years of development of the ability to control and be our own person from these kids. We're not doing them any favors by supervising every minute of their growing up.
The man you just heard from is Richard Louv, who wrote the groundbreaking book Last Child in the Woods. In it, he introduces the phrase nature deficit disorder. It is a term that he uses to describe all of the combined mental and physical consequences of a life devoid of nature. It is not an official medical term, but judging from the list of complications we just discussed, perhaps it should be. There is one more set of consequences that we need to consider, and those are the potential consequences for the planet and the future of the human race. How can we reasonably expect to have a future generation of environmental stewards if children grow up without a connection to the natural world? People fight to protect the things that they love. And you cannot fall in love with something you have no experience with. You can download our Surgeon General's warning using the link below or by clicking on the infographic thumbnail. People need to know that this is a serious issue with real consequences. But enough with all these negative consequences, it is time to get positive. It is time to discuss the amazing benefits that children experience when they play outside and engage with the natural world. But that is all in video number 3, so please keep watching. And by the way, I have another huge surprise in store for you at the end of video 5. Thanks for watching. I'm Kenny Ballantyne, and I will see you outside.